Hi everybody, my name is Rupa, working as assistant professor in Chebla Engineering College in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. I'm taking the subject renewable energy sources and today's topic is wave energy conversion devices. So there are different types of energy conversions for converting the wave energy into what are the applications what we are uh, using. So the mechanical energy in the waves, it takes different forms. There is the energy of forward motion of waves and there is the energy of backward motion also. These are highly noticeable energy that slams into the shifts and cliffs. Okay, so there will be a high energy which is noticeable by us also. So there are some proposal schemes which are oriented towards this forward motion kinetic energy. Any geometry arrangement which absorbs energy and it converts the forward momentum of the wave into motions of its internal parts. Okay, so it is done. This process is done without de-emitting as much as energy it absorbs. It does not absorb any energy and can extract this forward motion energy. Okay, so the very advantageous thing from the energy extraction point of view is this potential energy of the raised water is produced at the wave crest. Okay, so the gravity head between the crest and trough, it is not largely enough to permit practical power generations by driving the hydro turbine directly or by potential energy in the wave is very considerable. Okay, so the rate at which the work done on a large ship by the ocean as a ship, it is lifted by the swell. It is actually several times the power delivered by the ship's engine. Okay, so the lift produced by the ship is very much greater than the ship's engine. Okay, so this makes us not very difficult to invent a variety of values or a variety of intermittent pump mechanisms. These pump mechanisms will be converting wave energy into hydraulic, pneumatic or electrical form. But there is some challenge for our engineers to find out a cost-effective way to do this in the large scales. Okay, so the main problem is to reduce the cost because the cost will be vast on a large scale and we have to thought of making it costless, less cost. Okay, so since wave comes in a wide range of wavelengths and amplitudes, many effective devices will be either have a broad band that is not resonant or it has a resonant frequency continuously adjusted one. Okay, so many mechanisms have been proposed and these are also investigated many ways. For example, waves can be there can be made to compress air in the top of floating tank using a one way of air values. At that time, electricity is generated as the air is blend out through the pneumatic or air turbines. So, in this way, different devices are developed. A waves passing a pipe standing vertically in the water and equipped with it is equipped with the internal flop value. So, this internal flop value allows water to move upward in the pipe, but not the downward side. And it causes this upward moving water column to rise in the pipe and height to rise to a height and many times the wave height. Okay, so this water in the valve will be pressurized and they are forced to go to some heights, so many heights than the wave height. So this water is again released. This can be released from the elevated part in the controller manner to drive a conventional hydro turbines. Another class of mechanism is there. This employs the floats. This is the first type of mechanism, and other class is there. So this is a float, employs the float with differential dynamic response characteristics. Okay, so for example, if we take a long vertical cylinder extending far below the surface, it will remain nearly stationary as the wave passes by it. Okay, so this toroidal float, it is surrounded with rise and fall of the valves, and it can be made push and pull on pump plungers attached to the cylinder. So you can see in the diagrams now some of the main concepts for converting the wave energy into mechanical or electrical can be described through these diagrams. So if you do this wave energy conversion by floats, this is the diagram. Okay, so this wave motion, it is primarily horizontal, but the motion of water is primarily vertical, you know. Okay, so you have to do remember this wave motion is primarily horizontal wave, horizontal in direction, waves will be coming, and the water will be primarily moving in the vertical direction. Okay, so the mechanical power is obtained by the floats making the use of this motion of water. Okay, so this concept, the concept gives us gives a visualization that a large float that is driven up and down by the water within a relatively stationary guides. Okay, so this reciprocating motion, it is converted into mechanical motion, and after that converting this mechanical motion, it is then converted to electrical power. Okay, first the reciprocating motion is converted into mechanical motion. After that, this mechanical motion will be converted into the electrical power. Okay, so a system based on this principle. This is the system based on this principle in which we are taking a square float. Okay, so this is a square shaped float which moves up and down with the water. As the water moves up and down, this float also will be moving as regarding to the water. And it is guided by 4 vertical main folds that are part of the platform. See, these are the 4 vertical main folds. Okay, so there are 4 large underwater, see, underwater flotation tanks which stabilizes the platform. These are the 4 underwater flotation tanks. Okay, so what is the use of these flotation tanks means these stabilizes the platform. That means not to a greater vibrations, it stops it resists the greater vibrations. And this platform is supported by a buoyancy forces here, buoyancy and air storage tank here. This platform is supported by a buoyancy force, and no vertical or horizontal displacements occurs during this wave actions. Okay, so this air buoyancy and air storage tank, this helps to prevent uh, the vertical and horizontal displacements which occur at the time of the wave actions. Okay, so thus overall, by employing all this, we are making this platform stationary in space, right? So we are making this platform is stationary, constant. We are not making it as it is in the water, and we are making it a stationary movement. Okay, so a piston is there here. See, this is the piston which is attached to the float. We can see in the figure here. This moves upwards and downwards inside the cylinder. Okay, so this is the cylinder and this is the cylinder. See here, this is the overall is float. This piston will be moving in the cylinder upwards and downwards. Okay, and this cylinder is attached to platform and it is also a relatively constant. It will not move sideways and only the piston will be here moved inside the cylinder, and this cylinder is also supposed to be stationary. So it is made stationary and it is by attaching it to the platform. Okay, so this piston and the cylinder arrangement is used as a reciprocating compressor. Okay, so this piston and cylinder, it is used as a reciprocating compressor. The downward motion of the piston, it draws air into the cylinder via an inlet check valve. Okay, the downward motion of the piston, it draws air into the cylinder. So if the piston will be moving downwards, it is allowed to, the air is allowed to move into the cylinder through outer check valve. Okay, so the air, this air which is inside the cylinder, this air is compressed by upward motion of the cylinder. Okay, so sorry, piston. When the piston moves downwards, it draws air into the cylinder through a outlet check valve. And if the piston moves upwards, now the air is compressed by upward motion of the piston and it is supplied to the 4 underwater flotation tanks. This air which is suppressed, this is reached to the underwater flotation tanks through an outlet check via the 4 manifolds. Okay, so from here the air, when the piston moves upwards, the air is compressed and this force is reaching the underwater flotation tanks through a outlet check valve and the main folds. 4 main folds, it reaches the flotation tanks under. Okay, so in this way the 4 flotation tanks, they serve the dual purpose of buoyancy and air storage. Okay, and also the 4 vertical main folds and the fold guides through the functions of the main folds and the float guides. Okay, so at this, air turbine is run by compressed air. When the piston compresses air in the cylinder, this compressed air is stored in the buoyancy storage tanks. This in turn drives an electrical generator. Which produces energy, which is then transmitted to the shore through the water cable, under the water cable. Okay, so this is the brief explanation of a float conversion by float. So see, these are the main four main folds, and these are the buoyancy and air storage tanks here. So when it is made, the total equipment is made constant. Okay, so when the piston moves back and forth in the cylinders, it will be compressing air. So when the piston moves backwards, the air will be drawn into the cylinder through a check valve. And when the piston moves into the cylinder, it compresses air. That force will be transferred to the buoyancy and air storage tanks. So when the piston compresses, the air will be compressing, and this force is used to drive the turbines. Okay, so this is the schematic of low wave power conversion device. Next, we will see high level reservoir wave machine. Okay, so this concept, the concept of this is illustrated with references to this one, this figure, in which magnification piston is used here. Okay, so a piston called magnification piston is used here. The pressurized water means the water which contains pressure. is elevated to a natural reservoir above the wave generator. Okay, so this which would have to be nearer at the shorelines. Okay, so this equipment should be present nearer to the shorelines or to an artificial water reservoirs. So the water in the reservoir, first the water, this is the check valve, this is the discharge, and this is the wave inlet, outlet, and this is the reservoir. These are the steels and this is the composite piston. Okay, so the water in the reservoir, first the water in the reservoir, these are made to flow through a turbine coupled to the electrical generator. From this reservoir, the turbine is connected and these the water in the reservoir is made to flow onto the turbine which is connected again coupled to the electrical generator, and again it is given back to the sea level. So calculations made shown that a 20 meters diameter generator will produce 1 megawatt power. Okay, so a 20 meters diameter, the generator which is having a 20 meters diameter, it produces 1 megawatt power. So this is the high level reservoir wave machine. Next one is dolphin type wave power machine. Okay, so this type of wave generator, it is designed by TSU Research Laboratories in Japan. This one. It is designed by TSU Research Laboratories in Japan. So this system contains the following components. What are the main components the system is containing? We will see now. First one, a dolphin, and second one, a float, and third one, a connecting rod, and fourth one, it is having two electrical generators. These are not shown in the diagram. So apart from this, the shown parts, it is also having two electrical generators. Dolphin, float, connecting rod, and two electrical generators. So these devices use the float which has two motions. Okay, so this float is having two motions. See here, the first one is rolling motion about its own fulcrum. Okay, the first one is rolling motion about its own fulcrum with the connecting rod. This is the connecting rod. Okay, and revolving movements. These are caused by the float and the connecting rod. Revolving movements are caused by the float and the connecting rod. And second type is other is, it is nearly vertical or heavy in motion above the connecting rod, like this. Okay, and it causes relative revolving movements between the connecting rod and the stationary dolphin. Okay, so this causes revolving movements between the connecting rods and the dolphin. In both the cases, these movements are amplified and these are converted by the gears into continuous rotatory motions. That continuous rotatory motions, these drive the two electrical generators what we are using. So this is the dolphin type wave power machine. Okay. Next, apart from these three types of wave machines, we are having some other wave machines also. Without diagrams, I will explain. See, hydraulic accumulator. These are also used. These types of machines are also used. These uses which instead of these of actually in previous diagrams we saw that air is compressed, right? So here instead of compressing air, the water itself is pressurized and it is stored in high pressure accumulator or some pump to a high level or these are pumped to a high level reservoir from which it flows, from which the water will be flowing on through the water turbine electric generators. Okay, so in previous we have used that we by using the compression of the air, we are using that force to move the turbines. But here the water itself are pressurized, and this pressurized waters are stored in the high pressure accumulators. This is the first thing. And second use is when the water itself is pressurized, they are pumped to the high level reservoirs. So from their high level reservoirs, these waters are allowed onto the flow, allowed to flow onto the turbines. Okay, so actually these turbines will be connected to a electrical generator. So this is done by transforming larger volumes of low pressure water at the which is present at the crest wave. Okay, so this is done by transferring a large volumes of low pressured water. Okay, so this low pressured water at the wave crest, these are converted to small volumes of high pressured water by a use of composite piston. Okay, so by use of composite pistons, we are transferring these large volumes of low pressure water into small volumes of high pressure waters. Okay, so this piston is composed of a large diameter main piston and a small diameter piston. At its center, it is having this one. So this main piston will be moving up and down with the entering of wave water through the openings. So a closed water loop, it will be existing above the small piston. Okay, closed water loop will be existing above the small piston. So this pressure on the pressure which is applied on the main piston, it is magnified onto the small piston during the upstrokes. Okay, so the pressure what we are getting, it is magnified onto it is magnified from the main piston to the small piston during the upstrokes. Though the high pressure water is conducted through a one-way valve to a hydraulic accumulator at the top of the generator. So we are seeing the hydraulic accumulator at the top of the generator. Okay, so two air or other gas volumes, they counterbalance. So we are using here two air volumes which counterbalance and acts as cushions in the chamber above the main piston and in a sealed compartment in the hydraulic accumulators. Okay, so the later also they maintains high water pressures in that. Okay, so thus the part of high pressure water which is flowing through the Pelton wheel or some what we are taking Francis hydraulic turbines, these pressurized water, high pressure water, these moves the type of turbines, whatever we are taking Pelton wheel or Francis hydraulic turbines, this high pressure water flows through these turbines and they drives the electrical generator. Okay, and after driving the electrical generator, they are discharged to the storage chamber. Below the turbine, we are having one storage chamber. So these are discharged to the chamber. Okay, this is one type of machine. This is hydraulic accumulator. In here, in this water is pressured and allowed to flow onto the reservoir from which this high pressure water are flown onto the turbines and that type, and in this type the electricity is generated. Another type is another type differential motion concept. It is called nodding duck concept is used. This has large cum-shaped ducts. These ducts are mounted on a very long floating frames. Okay, and the ducts oscillate or nod relative to the frames. Okay, and these movements they drive the hydraulic pumps. Okay, and this nodding duck scheme, though only in the model testing stage, it is not. It has been investigated more than most of the concepts, and it is currently one of the leading contenders in the British concepts. Okay, in the British wave energy program, these are the investigated researchers going on. It is interesting to recall this Savianus rotor, which is used as a rotor of type generally known as Savian, S.J. Savianus. This by it is invented by S.J. Savianus. So it is generally known as Savianus rotor, and it is generally used to extract used a windmill. It uses as a windmill. It is using as a windmill to extract energy from the waves of oceans. So this rotor, what we are discussing, Savianus rotor, was fixed with its horizontal axis horizontal and perpendicular to the direction of wave propagation. Okay, and this water which is passing the rotor, these are flowed from both directions, forward and backward, at the different times and depths. So this asymmetric Savianus rotor, it can take power from both the forward and backward flows. So the power outputs of a few kilometers per square meter were obtained with this equipment, and these two seems to be far perfect. So this is the wave power generation. So in this chapter, we have discussed two concepts. First one is tidal wave energy and second one is wave energy. So how the tides are converted into the electrical energy and how the waves are converted into the electrical energies. So next we will go into the last and important topic, small scale hydroelectric plants. Okay. So this is a hydroelectric plant. By using the water, we are producing the electricity. This is called as hydroelectric, but it is of small scale. So this chapter is of only small scale, micro, mini, like that. So why this classification is done and how the classification is done and how the equipments will be there to produce the electricity, we will discuss in this chapters. Okay. So first, small scale hydroelectric plant. What is this? A small scale hydroelectric facilities are a large amounts. It supplies electricity for a large applications. One of them are, first one is irrigation or potable water pumping, we can say. So potable water pumping, and next one is we can use for lighting, and next health or educational purposes also we can use. So the total potential amount of such a reservoir is very poorly documented, but it is apt to be large. Okay, so up to 1972, hydro engineers concentrate on developing a larger sites. Okay, so if you develop larger sites where the economy of scale enable the production of energy at a cost low enough to compete the thermal powers and fueled with low cost oils. So they cannot, at large sites, these are not competed with the thermal powers or low cost, or the equipment which is fueled with the low cost oil. However, with the prospect of rapidly depleting fossil fuels and these oil prices are also increasing, attention is returned to the smaller sites previously regarded as uneconomic. Okay, so again with the extinction of this renewable sources, and with increase of the fuels in the oil, this this is think to be less economical, and again we are focusing on the small hydroelectric power plants which are previously considered as economical. But there are some remarkable achievements here in the technology of the development of turbines which are used for small fans and small discharges. Are being working efficiently. Okay, and the development of all the small things is increased with the chances of development or of small, that means micro or mini included hydro installations to larger extent. So manufacturers are also interested in developing the package designs for small units. For very small hydro plants of less than 500 kV capacity, this is called as small hydro plant. So what is the capacity? 500 kilowatts. Less than 500 kilowatts capacity is called as small hydro power plant. Okay, so this capacity, it is having electronic load controllers. Okay, so these are developed to replace the governors. These electronic load controllers are replaced in the place of governors. So these controllers maintain a constant load on the turbine. Okay, so these controllers, they maintain constant load on the turbine. Hence, if they maintain constant load on the turbine, there will be constant flow. Okay, so surplus power is delivered to the resistor and either wasted or used to heat water. Many countries now have so many active small hydro developments. Many countries are having active means which are in present working, small hydro developments, and rural electrification programs. Also, these are having due to several advantages offered by these plants. Okay, so small have many advantages. So these have mainly more advantages. These are more advantages in the hilly areas and remote areas, and these because these eliminate long transmission line systems and lesser gestation periods. These lesser gestation periods is one of the added attraction for this advantages, and it has little or no adverse environmental impact. And effects on steam ecology are also minor here. Okay, so China, if you see the beside country China, it has concentrated on small hydro. Over 1 lakh sites have been developed and it is now exporting low cost units. Okay, so all over the China, 1 lakh sites are developed. Means 1 lakh, 1 lakh small hydro plants are developed and they are exporting. That means if they are developed at everywhere, the power transmission will be decreased. The power transmission decreases means losses decrease, and we can give that power at very less cost. Okay, so these mini hydro schemes which are spread all over the country, these are supplying about 10% of China's total installed capacity, and which is in the vicinity of 7,000 megawatts. And if you come to other countries such as Malaysia, Indonesia, and Philippines, these are actively pursuing small and micro hydro or mini hydro developing sites using a minimum of elaborate equipment, using a mini equipment, that is minimum equipment we are running these plants. In India, the potential of hydropower is estimated to be 5,000 megawatts at present. Okay, so while further investigations and surveys are expected to be indicate a higher potentials. In future, we can go for higher potentials. So small hydropower, it is converted into the renewable energy programs. The Alternative Hydro Energy Center at the Roorkee, it works on the development of solar hydropower systems as well as hybrid hydro systems. Okay, in India at Roorkee, there is a development for there is a center for development for solar hydro power system as well as hybrid hydro systems. So if small hydro power stations are all set up over the country, decentralization availability of power will become possible. Okay, next in next classes we will see the what are the impressions that are having using this. What is the limitation using of this small hydro power plants?